what are your thoughts on Jalen Carter reaching out to the Eagles and selling himself prior to them making their final decision?
I was talking. It's an Eagles fan that's one of my gaming buddies that I play 2K with every night, and I brought this up to him and asked him what he thought, and he was like, he's not surprised by it because he felt like with everything that Jalen Carter went through his last year at Georgia, with the whole situation with the DUI and the accident and the two people, rest in peace, but the two people who lost their lives in that accident that were also a part of the organization there in Georgia. He said he felt like that Jalen Carter had to kind of call and sell himself a little bit because he was one of the bigger prospects as far as defensive line in the nation. And he didn't want his character to be stained as much as it was probably already stained with that whole situation that happened at Georgia. So he had to kind of reach out and say, hey, like, I really want to play for your organization. I don't know what he said. I'm just kind of thinking about what I would say in that situation. Right. But I really want to play for your organization. I think if you pass up on me, you'd be making a mistake. Like, I'm really serious about this. That's not my character. What happened in Georgia? Like, you'll be making a good decision if you pick me. And I feel like it's fire. Like, I was also talking to him and saying, bro, if I had that opportunity to do that myself, especially coming from a small school like NCCU, I would have been on the phone with all 31 teams. Like, hey, listen, bro, like, I know I came from a small school. I didn't get as much exposure, but trust me, I got that dog in me. You feel me? Like, pick me up in the 5th, 6th, 7th, whichever one. I don't care. Just pick me up, bro. Like, if I had that opportunity to do that, I would be able to do that. And that's why it's kind of progressing, bro, because just like we talked about with Isaiah Winstead, he was able to use social media to his advantage. Just like Jalen Carter, he's able to use his high draft stock and being able to reach out to these organizations to his advantage. We didn't have that coming up, bro. We ain't had none of these opportunities. I had to rely on my agent to say, okay, go do your work. Whatever contract we get, you're going to get your 6%. But it's just how things are progressing, man. It's kind of crazy. And I commend him for it. And that's why he was so emotional when he did get picked up with the 9th pick to the Eagles, that he was like, I fought so much to get here, man. Like, I went through what I went through at college, and I had that tragedy that happened. And now I was able to put my name out there and fix my character, because that character is a big thing when you're going into the league for the NBA, 100%. The NFL. Your character is a big thing, any league for real. So if you got any stains on your character, they're going to look at all of that. Not even your athletic ability. They want to see what's up here for real. Right. And like, if you have any stains, dog, that's going to go into your draft stock, and you could dip. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like he did a good thing, man. And I felt like it was big for the Eagles to pick him up at the 9th pick, man. So what you got on it, man? What you feel about Jalen Carter?
I mean, this is a complex topic. I feel like, first off though, before I get into the complexities of it, I want to say shout out to Jalen Carter for having the gumption to reach out to the Eagles and plead his case for why they should pick him up. Right. I don't know many. You just said you would, but I don't know many individuals his age that would do that. Right. That would say, I'm just going to reach out and talk to these dudes and tell them why they should pick me up. With that being said, I feel like the reason that the decision of the Eagles was made, the decision of the Eagles probably was made before he did call them, because as we mentioned, he was supposed to be the number 1 draft pick before all of this happened with the accident and, all the stuff that he went through. So if he had not, I still think he would, and we don't know. Is this true story? Do you know, he actually called them, or is it just speculation?
Yeah, it's a true story. He actually called them.
So I feel like had he not called them, the decision was already made. And
true.
It's like, if he would have not called them, I just feel like it's good for him that he was able to do that. And I just feel like it was good for him. I don't know any other way to put it, because I put more stock into the negative of it. But before I say that, I just want to ask you, do you think this decision by the Eagles to pull him in, to select him, will come back to haunt them?
I don't think so. I think that Jalen Carter made a mistake in his life that I don't think he will ever make again, because that's something that's That's tragic, bro. You're the reason why 2 people are no longer on this earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that if it's me and like I said, the emotion that you saw on that man's face, that young man's face, whenever he got picked up by the Eagles, shows you that he is remorseful for what happened. To me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he will put himself in that same situation again. I mean, you're gonna have your fun. You know what I'm saying? You making all this money now, you're gonna have your fun, you're gonna do things, but I think he'll be a lot more careful now moving forward than he was when he was in Georgia.
Right.
So I don't think it'll come back to haunt them. I mean, he's playing alongside basically his whole team in the Eagles organization on that defensive side of the ball. So he's going to have some people who are already a couple of years removed and second year players that are going to be on his ass like, bro, like you got to stay on the straight and narrow, bro. Like we came this close to winning the championship last year. We trying to get back there. So, and we going to need you. So I think he's going to have enough guidance, and I think he's going to have enough smarts to be like, nah, I'm good.
Right. Yeah. I think that last part that you said is he has other teammates that he was playing with 3 years ago or last year that are on this team that he's going to, that one could probably have vouched for his character before the accident happened. And then also, like you mentioned, will be on him to be like, yo, chill out. You're a professional now. You with us, X, Y, Z. But I also think that him calling, and then also he's the first round draft pick to sign, shows an eagerness. And it could be promising because he's showing that I'm taking the actions to be what everybody thought I was, and now I just have to show it. I'm not trying to cause any drama. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just want to be where I want to be, and I'm signing this paper. Now let's get back to business. But the flip side of that, and why I think it's complex, is because you can also look at it from a different angle. Why is he doing all of this? Why did he call the Eagles to come to select him? Why did he sign his contract so early? Without any contest or anything like that. And before the draft, he had an incident outside of the accident that he got into, where he showed up to his pro day out of shape and couldn't finish drills that he chose to do. Now, this could fall along the lines of, does he really love football? Tying it to the topic.
Of Pat Bev, exactly.
Tying to the topic that we just discussed with Pat Bev and the NBA players. Does he really love football? Because if he loved football, this is that portion of his life prior to him getting drafted was the biggest interview of his life.
100%. Yeah.
The biggest interview of his life. So you mean to tell me you show up to the pro day out of shape? You can't finish drills that you chose to do, but your draft stock's falling, and then you calling me to select you. I select you, and now you signing a contract really quick. What are you trying to do here? You know what I mean? Do you think that's why I asked you, do it? You think
the fact that contract was fully guaranteed. The first rookie in history to sign a fully guaranteed contract. So I see where you're going with it. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because he might be just trying to get that bag for real. And you had the number. What was the number of the contract that he signed?
It was right over $20 million. So he signed a $21 million contract, 4 years,
so 4 years, $21 million. So he's gonna be getting about a little over $5 million. Yeah, so he's going to be getting a little over $5 million a year. Right. So what are you really trying to do, my boy? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to get this $5 million a year, and then, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is super complex in the sense that you have to look at it from both angles. No. And I chose to look at it from the positive angle. I think you did too, because I think you wish nothing for the best for the young man.
No, I wish nothing but the best.
Yeah. But you do have to think, like, is he just trying to get this bag for the next 4 years, though? Because fully guaranteed, you have to think about that, and I'm glad you said that, because I wasn't thinking in that direction, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's like, now I'm like, well, damn, is he trying to get over on the Eagles for real? Because they're gonna owe him that bread. That contract says for the next 4 years you're gonna get $5 million.
Right.
So
what are you? And had he gone lower than 10, that's the contracts get less and less the more you stick around for the first round. So I believe Bryce Young can sign a $40 million contract. And then
Mm,
from 1 to 10, it drops to 20. So
got you.
20 from 10 and below is under 20. So I think he was trying to, and again,
All
I'm not
speculation. All
all
speculation.
speculation. I am not saying that I want this to be true. I'm just thinking about the what ifs, right? And
Right.
so it is more than likely, if that is the case, then he was trying to squeeze out every bit of more than, just over 20 million as he could. But
Mm-hmm.
I say all that, and then I feel like Jalen Carter is going to be good with the Philadelphia Eagles. One, because he is going into a situation where they have veterans in front of him. Fletcher Cox is
Mm-hmm.
an all-pro defensive tackle. You have still Jordan Davis there, and they have a whole list of other, a couple other players in front of him that could be in front of him. So
Mm-hmm.
in reality, he's not really expected to be a full-time player next year. He'll get rotated
Right.
in and out, but he can sit behind those two and learn from them, and learn from the others that he's played with before.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year roll and be a good player. I think he's going to be good. And I don't want this to be true. It's just, we had to think about the complexities of this topic because, he called the Eagles, which you don't hear many players doing. Not saying that
Might be
it
the
doesn't
first ever,
happen.
honestly. I mean, I don't know. The first I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
called
But
the Eagles. He
mhm.
called the Eagles to tell them why they should pick him, and then he was the first round draft pick to sign. It's like, all right,
Yeah, true. So I mean, I think my last comment on it, I would say that I think he's going to take it seriously. I think moving forward, I'm praying that he won't just trying to get over and try to get that bag for the $5 million for the next 4 years. I'm hoping that's not the case. I don't think it's the case,
I don't think it's the
but
case.
at the same time, it's like I think I think he has remorse for what happened. I think he's trying to
Okay,
fix his character. I think that
right.
was a mistake that he will never make again. And I think that the Eagles, that it was a damn good pick at 9, number
Yes,
one. And with everybody he has around him on that defensive side of the ball and the culture that they're building around that Eagles organization is going to be good for Jalen Carter. And I believe that, in the role that he's going to have next year with the all pro players that he has in front of him, he's going to make an impact. And I think he's getting in there. Went ahead and signed this contract and said, "I'm just ready to get to work." So y'all can see that y'all made the right pick. But me calling you was not a fluke. I'm ready to get here and get to work, and I'm with the organization and I'm ready to get to it. So that's what I think.
I feel like it's that too. But like I said, you just have to look at the other side.
For sure. Thank you for watching this video. If you've made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you miss none of the content. Also, make sure you follow us on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast.